Look, you're here watching this video because you probably have an LG OLED or are going to be getting one very, very soon. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to streamline your TV watching experience. And you know what? These TVs are great and they can do a lot of stuff. And you need to know about it. So here we go. Before I start, you might know some of these. Chances are you won't know all of them. If you do, put down in the comments and tell me how much of an idiot I am. And guys, stick a comment down below. Let me know which tips you didn't know or that you already did know. But seriously, it'll be very interesting to know what people know about their TVs and what things people don't know. Let's go. First of all, on your homepage, when you're trying to get to apps, you are not stuck with all of your apps in the order that LG say they are. You can go on and rearrange them just by holding down on one of the buttons, and then it enters you into this menu where you can then go through and change the order exactly how you want it. Or you can do the automatic way and just get it to put the most frequently used apps at the start, which is obviously the best way to have it. Tip number 2, if you press the settings button, it opens up this quick settings menu where you can quickly go into the type of settings you want. Now, if you want to quickly go into your picture settings, if you hold down the settings button, it just launches you straight into your picture settings. Keeping on that trend of holding buttons down, if you press the input button, it will take you to your inputs on the bottom, but if you hold it down, it'll take you straight through to your home dashboard. Here you can access smart home equipment as well as all the inputs on your TV. Tip number 3. Is it 3? I've lost track. It'll be up there. Now this is sort of a 2 tips in 1. Firstly, you need to update your TV. If you're not updating your TV on a regular basis, then what you're doing, you need to do it. LG and other TV manufacturers release firmware updates all the time that will, 1, protect your TV against unknown things on the web, but also they'll be fixing bugs with the TV and changing different processes inside the TV to deliver you the best picture. So if you're not updating your TV, update it. But you can also set it to automatically update, which why doesn't everyone do this? Automatically update, you don't have to worry about it. Sort it out. Did you know that you can have a digital remote for your TV so you can control some of your HDMI inputs and have sort of extra buttons like going to different settings menus? Now if you press the menu button on the remote, it'll open up a little menu on the side and that'll give you a couple of buttons that you can press which can give you different access to different things on that HDMI without using the original remote for that device. Now if you scroll down on that menu that pops up, you can actually change the location of the little HDMI 1, HDMI 2 pop-up that appears on your TV when you change inputs. So if you want it in the corner out of the way, you can do that. If you want it on the opposite side of the TV, you can do that too. Don't really know why, but you can do it. Now, I mentioned earlier about bypassing that quick settings menu, but if you do want to go onto that quick settings menu and you find there's a ton of things on there that are just a waste of time, they're all in the wrong place and they're getting in the way, you can actually move those around by going down to the bottom and pressing the edit button, or just by holding down the select button on one of those inputs. That will then give you the option to move it around and change the order of which those settings appear, but also you can just delete it. So for something that you never change, you can just get rid of it. Here's one for you gamers out there. If you mash the green button, you can open up this little VRR box and it will tell you whether VRR is working. It'll tell you what frame rate you're running at to the decimal point, and it's a bit more precise than the game optimizer menu, which doesn't have a decimal point. So awesome. Now you may be aware of the shortcuts at the bottom of your remote, but did you know you can actually create your own ones if those aren't good enough for you? For example, YouTube, there isn't a shortcut button, but if we go onto the app and then hold down one of these number buttons here, it will then store it as a quick access button, which means if we ever hold down that button again, it will automatically stick us into YouTube. Then also, if we hold down the 0 button here, that will pop up that quick access menu so we can go on and edit the quick access buttons that we've made. Here's one. Maybe you're planning on falling asleep whilst watching TV and you don't want the TV on all night. You can set a timer for it to automatically turn off. Also, you can set a time where the TV will automatically turn on. So if you want to wake up to the news or to some horror film, then you can do that. Or you could just get an alarm clock or do an alarm on your phone. I like the idea of the news though, waking up to terrible things happening in the world. Speaking of terrible things on the TV, you can set up parental guidance. By going into the security menu and entering the password 0000, you can now set up parental controls and change that 000 default password. By setting up parental controls, you can do things like limit content that's watched on the TV by age rating, and you can personalize what apps can be used and stuff like that. So if you have kids at home and you don't want them to watch good TV like Breaking Bad or The Boys on Prime Video, then you can enable this setting. setting. Here's a good one. Do you ever get annoyed when you boot the TV up and it automatically pops up with this menu giving you quick access to all the apps that you might want to use? Yeah, so annoying. You can disable that. If you go into the home settings, you can actually click that setting and switch it off so that this menu doesn't automatically pop up. And while you're there, you can also turn off ad promotion, which means the TV is no longer going to be promoting sponsored ads of content for you to watch. And while we're talking about sponsored content and ads, you can actually turn off ad tracking. So if you don't want the TV to base your ads off of content you watch and start recommending you things that you're never going to watch, you can turn that off too. Here's another one that's probably not going to change your life. Your pointer settings. You can change the size of your pointer and have a very big one if you're blind and can't see it. Or you can go and switch it into a smaller one if you want the challenge. One more there, we can also change the tracking speed. So you can make the mouse go around the screen really fast, or you can make it go around really slowly. Either way, after 2 seconds, you probably won't notice the difference. The next one's a secret. Did you know there's a secret menu? Yes, if you mash the mute button, it will pop up with this menu that I don't think anyone's meant to see. And ultimately it has a bunch of stuff on it that I don't really know what it does, and it probably isn't very useful. But what you can do is turn off the LG logo so that when people watch TV and see you turn off your TV, they don't know it's an LG TV anymore, even though the operating system is WebOS and it's only on LG TVs. But at least you don't have to see their logo. Okay, so I actually have a useful tip now. So if you select settings and quick help, you can actually go in and check the health of your remote, which means if you're having issues with your remote, you can actually find out, is it because I just need to go in and change the batteries? And if your remote has already run out of batteries and you can't go into this remote, then that's a sign that you should probably change your batteries. And lastly, LG actually gives you ways of being able to improve your picture without just giving you a bunch of settings with no instruction on how to use them. So on that quick help menu, if you go to self-diagnostics, it will give you a bunch of scenarios in which your picture might not be ideal, or some of the settings might be a bit off. You can actually go in there and it gives you recommendations on how to change them, but not only that, a quick shortcut to automatically change them while you're on that menu. It's actually a really useful setting. Thank you, LG. So guys, I hope this video was helpful, and if it wasn't helpful, I hope it was slightly entertaining. Click one of these videos to hear more from me, and subscribe so I see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Woo!